Welcome back. Let's go back to one of our top stories for today, and that follows that announcement from Chief Justice Raymond Zondo that the first sitting of Parliament will take place on Friday. And for more on this conversation, we're now joined by legal practitioner Mpumelelo Zikalala. Mpumelelo, thank you so much for joining us this evening here in SABC News. I mean, we saw that announcement coming in from the Chief Justice a bit earlier on today, and confirming that the first sitting of the National Assembly to elect a Speaker, a Deputy Speaker, as well as a President, is expected to take place on Friday.
Yeah, I think what the Chief Justice was saying was to say, I'm going to stick to what the Constitution is prescribing me. I want to make sure that I hold this sitting within these first 14 days. Now, I've sent out this invitation and expect all the members that are listed as part of the National Assembly list to be present on that day. And when they are present, the first order of the day would be to swear them in. Secondly, would then to say to them, elect a speaker, and then my role is going to be done. I would have fulfilled my constitutional duties. The speaker can now take over to elect the deputy speaker and the president of the country.
And Mpumelelo, one would say that, I mean, we've seen negotiations take place from as early on as last week, and we are expecting some sort of an election to take place, but no one really here has a majority. So what can we expect come Friday?
Well, I think the type of trade is going to take place up until Friday. You may even find that even on the day, there's still going to be negotiations which are going to take place, number which is going to take place, the majority stating that this is the individual that you are looking for, and also horse trading to say that if we vote for you, can you guarantee that you are going to give us the positions that you are looking for example, ministerial positions. What you may also see is maybe for the first time in our country in which the president is going to be voted in by a secret ballot, where they would say, we want to vote by secret ballot. We do not want to raise our hands. We want to make sure that people are able to exercise their democratic rights and the responsibilities that have been bestowed by them, by the people of South Africa.
We also have then the MK party who have communicated to the National Assembly saying that they will not be attending this city, and they have opted to rather go to the Constitutional Court to ensure that this is interdicted. When it comes to the possibility of us not seeing the sitting of the National Assembly actually take place, how likely is that to happen?
Even though the chance might, but it's very unlikely that you would see that application succeeding. Remember, when you go to court on an urgent basis, you are saying to the court, leave everything that you are doing and focus on us. Now, the court is going to ask very serious questions, and two of them which come to mind is they are going to say, are there any other alternative remedies or forums that you could have gone to with the MK party in order to resolve whatever dispute that you might have had? And the answer is yes. You have the electoral court that you can go to. From the electoral court, then you come to the constitutional court. And the Electoral Act is quite clear when it comes to those disputes that have been stated by them in their court order. But the most important one is the irreparable harm, to say, is it this a situation when the harm has occurred, it cannot be repaired in any other manner? And the answer to that is no. What can happen is that even after a dispute has endured for plus minus even a year, Parliament or the court can come back and say, Parliament or IEC, in your calculations were incorrect. Then MK party was supposed to receive 200 seats, for example. Make sure that you deduct from this particular party and add on to others. This is the order in which you are going to issue. So there are remedies that are there. And simply on urgency alone, they may see the application failing. But the most important part would be to them, did you follow the prescripts as they have been written down? So after the course of your complaint, did you file a Section 55 objection as per the Electoral Act? After that, if you did not find any joy from that, did you go to the Electoral Court? If you did not go to the Electoral Court or you didn't find joy there, then did you come to the Constitutional Court in order for this determination to be made? So you can't stay and leave with an objection that you want to file, and on the last minute, and especially on the day in which the Chief Justice issues out that notice to say that you are going to vote on this day or convene a National Assembly on this day, then think about launching an urgent application. The chances of that or the urgent application being successful are going to be very minimal.
And looking at some of the concerns being raised by the MK party, I mean, they raised these concerns even before the elections or the results of the elections were actually declared. When it comes to these concerns being raised, I mean, what do you make of it? Do you think that it really is enough for the party not to attend proceedings and to want to rather pursue this legal action?
Not necessarily. Remember that the MK party has been given the thumbs up by the members of the public to say, we think that you are the party that can take us to parliament. We think that you are the party that can be able to produce the type of results that you are looking for. Now, if you're not going to be in parliament and observe what is happening there and protect the interests of the people that has voted for you, then the question is, where do you want to protect? And then secondly, remember that there are legal prescripts that are there. You may not agree with them or agree in the manner in which they've been written, but the truth of the fact of the matter is you have to obey them and you have to stick and comply with whatever those prescripts are telling you. So in terms of objections, following the electoral court and the constitutional court in that sequence and order, that has to be done no matter what. So it is a bit of a situation of saying, are you really taking seriously the trust that has been bestowed by you by members of the public, or are you trying to engage in another trajectory and put in jeopardy all the names of the 53 or 58 individuals that you've put in as members of the National Assembly by them not attending? Remember, there are serious repercussions and consequences for a member when they've been invited to attend a meeting of the National Assembly and they don't do so. They can even end up losing their seats. Now, do you want to make sure that the people that have been chosen meticulously, I would presume, by the MK party are now going to lose their seats simply of this particular matter that can be resolved or fixed at a later stage?
And a bit earlier on, I mean, you touched on the fact that when the election of the Speaker, Deputy Speaker, as well as the President takes place, we may actually see this take place for the first time through a secret ballot. I mean, what do you make of that in terms of where we find ourselves as a country 30 years onwards, where this actually can be conducted through a secret ballot?
I think, remember that the process of vote blocking or voting through a block of saying that this is the mandate has been given has been frowned upon even by the court in certain instances, because as a member of the National Assembly, you are the one who's making the allegiance of saying that I'm going to vote at what is best what is best towards the interests of the country and not that of the political party. Now, if you're not going to be able to exercise your discretion, or maybe there's intimidation tactics that have engaged, or maybe malicious intentions that are there, then the question is, how is it that are we going to ensure that we protect your right and the opinion that you want to express when you are within the National Assembly? Others may argue, though, to say you mustn't hide anything when you are in the National Assembly. Us as members of the public need to be aware and know exactly how did you vote, so that we know when the next time for us to vote in the next elections, what is it and what individuals we should trust and which individuals we should not trust. But looking at how volatile the situation is, looking at how close the parties are, and the fact that there's clearly no majority party that is there, I think parties or even the Chief Justice may be persuaded to say, taking into account what is happening, you've persuaded me with the arguments in which you are going to make, that let's do this by a separate vote. Either the Chief Justice may come back and say, the practice has always been that it is an open vote. We want this sitting to be as open as possible and members of the public to be able to see how you voted. So there's no secret vote which is going to take place.
All right, Mrs. Zikalala, thank you so much for your time. Always a pleasure talking to you here on the Late Edition. That's a legal practitioner, Mpumelelo Zikalala, giving us an insight there in terms of what we can expect come Friday when the National Assembly elects a new Speaker, Deputy Speaker, as well as a President.